いてるでも気づいてるでも気づいてる
So long as you are willing to press continue, your game is never truly over. It's a quote from a friend. 皆さんはじめまして。私は寂しいし天使ドゥース。首脳の前は気楽に押す。私は一番になりたいっす。お願いっす。よろしく。You know I like to keep it nice. Try to rock and excite ya. Now I invite ya to join in with all my stars in the star cipher. Andromeda is not too far. So this was oh shit. We're coming live from the blue side, playing sweet games. So just singing what you wanna run. Battle anybody, I don't care what your name is. You wanna do what again? My Nihongo is not Jozu, it's mostly a mata. The showkai was pretty cool, but my speaking is muda. I'm weirder than Gouda, but this will be the day. If you're rocking with what I'm saying, you're well on your way. 寂しいし心地のものが足り。スタイルはちょっと変全然終わり。Hey, it's most likely you saw one side of me and didn't want to party. The azure that's in my heart is shining as it plays. The verses that I spark is clearing through the haze. The show's about to start, you're in for a treat. I'm mending what was broken, we ain't saying defeat. Are you listening? Continue. Are you listening? Hit continue. No matter how hard life gets, hit continue. Shine like the star you are. Hit continue. Hello? こんばんは。みんな、寂しい天使、デュースです。よろしな。Everything is in order. To censor myself a little bit more. Okay. I promise you, I'm not like last minute setting this all up, but kinda ended up that way. I tried to eat beforehand and getting the food ready took longer than expected. I mean, for me, food is leftovers, but it's food nonetheless. We're here today, and it's probably going to be a slightly extra special session, depending on exactly where I am in my save file. Playing another round of mixing drinks and saving lives in Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action. I'm looking forward to it, while at the same time I'm a bit low-key bummed. But this is the stream where you get to see me luminescent. So our rock's a bit heavy. Let's see exactly where I was. Am I in my room? Okay, so I am in my room. So this is great, actually. Due to circumstances I will not be able to control for the next week, I may not be able to stream this stream this game. I mean, I may not. I'm not entirely certain just yet. But basically, what that means in the place of it is that I'm going to be trying to do a whole night tonight. So we're going to be streaming. Let me doing a double decker for you. So if anyone's following along with the Let's Play on YouTube, holy crap, thank you for checking out my YouTube. I recently passed 100 subs over there. And then one of my friends had the nerve to say, "You have 100 subs and I can't even get one." And I'm just like, cease. You know it doesn't mean it that way. It's not like I'm going to get any partner of that nature. Do you see how far away I am? That's like me coming to Earth just to Again, there are people who's traveled farther, and there are people who's traveled very far just for me. Sorry. Alright. So, with all that in mind, we can get things cracking. Get things started. Looks like my chats, looks like the time bots can also chime in on every 10-minute occasion to let you know that, hey, you can find me at you can find me on my Linktree /Karakunios. And if you need any help while during the live stream, you always use !help to let you know, hey, these are some of the commands that you're able to do in the room. So yes, finally have a little bit more control with NetaiBot, and I was able to implement more commands. The commands are still technically for everybody. I don't have enough mods because I am the mod, and I wouldn't have to literally stop what I'm doing. Deal with that. So if I do get rated, you just gotta live with that. I'm also very far away. So maybe my content isn't that relatable. But I do find a lot of relatable content. Enough of the jitter chattering. Apparently there's some words from the augmented eye that I have not read. What's that nanochem? Something to liven up things in this room. Getting my voice back to proper chill, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do. But from the looks of it, I've read these augmented eye reports by a session. I'm gonna look at it. Gonna check it out. How long is this one? It says good. I'm pretty certain I read this last session. Being attacked. Yeah, we read this. We read this all up. We are up to date. We are ready to rock. By rock, I mean, well, we'll see what happens. One thing left to do. That'll work. Saturday, December the 17th. Good evening. Huh? I didn't expect you today. I was waiting for you to call and say you wouldn't be coming in or something. Things at the Apollo Bank are getting ugly. So that means more people will be looking for a drink. We watch, we protect. Follow protocol. Obey. You can take a break, you know. Quite the hard worker. And the streets are not exactly safe right now. They've never been when you get down to it. Besides, I can't afford to not come with the bar closing soon. I wonder if any bar has used impending closure as a means of getting their employees to work. Seems like the total opposite would happen. Not to mention I get bored out of my brains in my apartment, so I'd rather come here anyway. What did you say? Nothing important. Gil isn't back yet? Nope. Wouldn't worry too much about him though. If you say so. That girl's still here? Yep. She was sleeping so peacefully I felt bad about waking her up. So, would you mind doing that for me? Actually, yes, I mind. But you're the boss, and it's kind of my fault she's here in the first place. Sorry about that. Hey, young lady. Sleep another hour and we'll have to charge you a motel fee. I have to get my voice ready for this. Where am I? Oh, Oh, right. Whew. Shoddy downtown bar. Let's see. All my gear is in place. And neither my pants nor my panties, shirt, or bra have been disposed. Oh, it's the flat bartender. Good morning. Good evening. Evening? Oh well. It's the best day of sleep I had in quite some time. Sorry for all the trouble I may have caused today or last night. Don't worry. You're so nice, flat bartender. Thanks for taking care of me. Bye! Hello, guys and gals. Streaming Time is back in action with her batteries reloaded. Ah, the moon! It burns! I feel like I've just unleashed something terrible onto the world. Come on, it's not that bad. Say, what's this bottle? Bottle of Absinthe I had at home. I went to have it appraised, but the guy said that without the label, there's not much value to it. Still a nice bottle of Absinthe, though. I see. Are you gonna serve it today? It looks like the absinthe that can be detected by the station's database, so it's not a counterfeit. I'll serve it only if customers ask for it. Sounds good. Want me to serve you a glass of it? I'll pass. Absinthe's not my kind of thing. Well then, I'll be in my office. Careful with that thing. Alright. Okay then. Did I unlock any new songs yet? Probably didn't. Wait. I don't remember having a song. I probably scrolled past it without realizing it. Well, it's gone now. Digital Drive, Metropolis, Skyline Ducks. Yeah. This is like it's gonna be. Oh, I already had Your Love is a Drug in there. Well. What's the normal snowfall? Yeah, keep that one. I love that track. Alright. Ready, steady. Time to serve, mix, and change lives. Wait, that's not how it goes. No one here to report. Man, it feels lonely without Gil here. Let's hope the restlessness in the streets doesn't lead to dangerous or weird types coming in. Good evening. Good evening. Holy shit, that was a record-breaking piece. Welcome to Valhalla. What can I get you? Let's see. I'll have a green fairy. Green fairy? Blue fairy. Sorry, the absinthe bottle distracted me. Is this brain of blue fairy? Can I like? Yeah, I can literally serve it. You green fairy. I feel like I give them the absinthe. And that door with perfume and plum. Who did I serve? Who do I have to serve? Stick to it. Why not a lot? A planogram. Optional commentary. Which means We hand them as many as it takes. All aged and mixed. The blue fairies. Here you go. Nice. Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, my chat's probably gonna be filled with timer thing. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I don't need that, like, literally flooding the chat. I'm gonna set that to have at least, well, at least go through the old rules. Have at least 5 before saying something. That way, on every 10-minute interval, you don't get just an entire bot telling you what you can do. Alright. Nice. Yeah, this is the thing. So, how are you gonna... Oh. You can grab stuff. I figured this much. You can drink stuff. And I have the same system Lilum do. Can I ask you something, Ms. Call me Taylor. Just Taylor. And yes, a cutie like you can ask me anything. I'm gonna try and give it a more of a personality rather than simply robotic. But then again, wouldn't be sure what the voice would be. Okay, Taylor. You have to be the first person I've met that didn't go, okay, just Taylor. Nah, too easy. You are a brain in a jar, right? I'm sure not a hologram of that, I'm sure. Yep, I am a bona fide human brain in a jar. So, how? Why? What? Does my handsomeness make you speechless? Not something a girl sees every day, and that's saying quite a bit in these parts. Fear not, I have a speech prepared for these situations. Speech. You're seeing one of the 5 great living bottled brains of the world. We are brains living in conditions that allows us to exist as any other humanoid creature, all while computers in our jars scan our activity. In a slow but steady manner, we are helping the world understand the inner workings of nature's most complex computer. I'm guessing you prepared that after being asked the same question too many times, huh? Not out of exasperation or anything like that, mind you. I just wanted to have something thoughtful prepared. Look, I even have a couple of pamphlets with me. Want one? Sure. What brings one of our world's 5 brains in jars to this place, though? Oh, I'm from around here, actually. I just wanted to take a walk for the first time in quite a bit of time. Have you come here before? Sadly, no. Otherwise, I'd remember a cute face like yours. Speaking of which, can I have your name? It's Jill. Jill? That's a really cute name. Thank you. Say, weren't you scared of going outside today? But with all the commotion around and all. Didn't stop you from coming here either, did it? Yeah, you're right. It's gonna take more than cryptic but ominous news to stop me. You're awfully energetic. Did you know that? Sorry. Does that bother you? No, not at all. Just that I figured a brain in a jar wouldn't be so happy. While I was alive, my body got to a point where there wasn't much I could do. This new state of existence allows me to accomplish more than I ever could before. Plus, I'm doing something that will help people in the long run. Wouldn't you be happy? I wonder. Do you want to make me happy, Jill? Depends on what it takes. Don't worry. Just give me a beer. Alright, then yeah, I'll make you happy. One Adelhide, 2 Bronson extracts, powder delta, 2 Planogrind, 4 Calmatrine. All mix. Mix. Swirl mix. And a beer. Here. A beer. Ah yes. No matter what happens, fear's always good. It's interesting though. Just yesterday I was talking to a client about brain uploads. You were? Yeah. We're talking about how even if you upload your brain, you'd still be here. I've thought about that too. Do you think the you in a cybernetic environment would feel like she was indeed transferred? Like, would she remember everything? Like waking up someplace else and so on? It's an interesting question. I was actually thinking earlier about being able to transfer someone's brain into a Lilith. One of the brains being used in such an experiment, actually. They could make a functional Lilith. Unfortunately, the wiring and other such stuff makes it look more creepy than anything. They aren't transferring his identity or anything though, just wiring him to a body. Oh. You'd think someone would rather do that than float around exposed in a jar. I have to admit, the whole brain thing does look creepy. But the body I'm telling you about is just uncanny looking. Speaking of uncanny, how did you feel when you saw yourself like this for the first time? It was quite a shock actually. It didn't last too long though. I never was too attached to my body. Later in my life, that was almost literal. You know what the downside to this body is? I can't get drunk. You want to call that a downside? If you wanted to drink alcohol for the taste, there are many alternatives. Drunkenness is part of the whole experience. Why though? Lilith can get drunk with no problem. Yeah, but in their case, their brain's a computer attached to their body. Getting drunk caused their brains to reduce the input speed to their body. Depending on the model, their drunk subroutine might throw in a different behavioral cycle even. It's hard to get drunk when the whole point of you being in a jar is figuring out exactly how you work. Yeah, you're right. Hey Jill. Oh, Alma. Yes, Alma? What's the courtesy one would expect from a plebeian bar staff? Welcome to Valhalla. What can I get you? Happy? Not when you put it that way. Why, hello there, beautiful. Whoa! You hurt my feelings with that, darling. Sorry. You don't see talking to somebody's brains every day. I mean, I did work a summer in Lilo maintenance, but even then, those were talking heads. Oh, don't worry about it. At least you're not running or fainting. Your name was Alma, right? I'm Taylor. Nice to meet you, Taylor. Say, Alma, can I buy you a drink? Whoa. Sorry, I only date people who are at least 50% organic and at least have at least one face. I know just what to strive for then. Just kidding. It'd make me happy to make you happy by buying you a drink. Does that bother you? I guess if Jill's the bartender, I don't have a problem with that. Awesome. I'll pay for your next drink then. What will you have? I'll have a cobalt velvet. And you, Taylor? I'm fine, actually. You're gonna have me drink alone? I don't wanna drink that much. Okay then. Make that cobalt velvet. 2. How do I? 3. Landing rack. 5. Almond trap. All on the rocks and mix. your drink. Hope you enjoy it. You know, you've been nicer to me these past minutes than at least 3 guys have been in the last year. Judging from the way you two talk, I'm guessing you've been a client here for a while now, right? Only for about half a year or so, if memory serves right. Really, one would think it's been longer. It feels like it's been longer. Shut up. You love me and you know it. So, you just started coming here and that was it? Well, the first time I came here, the other guy, speaking of which, where's Pablo? Gillian. Archimedes. Don't know. Venturing or something. Anyway, the other guy served me the first time I came here. Nothing unusual there. The next time I showed up, Jill here was the one serving and I don't know, I feel like she just gets me. There's this chemistry. We click. We click, she says. The fact that I feel more chemistry with her than with many other people is kinda sad though. It's always good to see a nice friendship. Sadly, it's getting late and I've gotta go. I'll leave you two lovely ladies alone. See ya. Bye. Please come again. That Taylor sure was nice. Bit weird at first though. Apparently 1 of 5 brains being studied by scientists or something. There's a summary of it in this pamphlet. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've heard of them before. Can't believe I've actually met one. Say, Alma, how many people are there in your family? Just curious. Well, aside from my mom and dad, we're 4 sisters and 1 brother. Funnily enough, we all have names that starts with the first 5 letters in the alphabet. So you're the eldest one? No, I'm actually the middle kid. You're the middle kid, but your name starts with an A? Don't think too much about it. I never said the order reflected our ages. My sister, Carlotta, is the eldest one. Then there's Diana, just before me. Then comes Eva, and at the bottom lies Sorry. The youngest one is Bernardo. Never been alone, I'm guessing. Can't complain about that, I guess. It helps that we were never 5 in the same house. By the time Evita and Bernie were born, Diana and Charlotta had already moved. Speaking of family, today came because I needed a break from everything that's been going on with them. You live with them? No, but Evita and Bernie do. Not to mention I visit them almost every day. Anyway, my second eldest sister, Diana, just separated from her husband. Not even been a week, but she's already got some other guy in her bed. She left her kid with her husband's parents and pretty much forgot about them. Never mind the fact that they need to go to school and all that. Damn. Diana's life has always been messy, but these days she's really making it big. She wants time for herself, to live her life. She didn't think about that when she married the guy at 20. She didn't even think about that when marrying a guy she only had known for like 3 months. She should take her own advice. Hey, I'd never marry someone who could catch my attention so quickly, okay? Sure, that was at one time when it almost happened, but I blame this damn stadium kiss cam. Kiss cam? I was going out with a guy and my little sister introduced it to me. Kiss cam. We went out for like 3 weeks. I don't know, maybe he wanted to get in my pants with the old sex on the wedding night line. But honest to God, I can't understand why he thought it would be a good idea. That sounds too convoluted, you know? Proposing and waiting for the wedding night just for sex? Never underestimate the lengths a man was willing to go to get you in their bed. I've seen more convoluted plots over the years. Feeling tempted to ask, but I'll pass. Want anything else? What's that bottle? Some bottle of Abstain that I found at home. It's unlabeled, so it's not that valuable. Do you know how to serve it? I'd usually need some kind of spoon to perch a cube of sugar, but the station does all that for me. Do you want some Abstain then? Sure. Let's try it. Let's give Alma some Abstain. Go to the bottled drinks tab and drag it to the shaker before mixing. Puke green fairy. Mix, swirl, and mix. Careful, it's a strong drink. I'll tell you if it's strong or not. Oh, that smug smile, I saw it for a second. That was a mood. And indeed it is. Holy shit. Are you okay? You'll be fine. Had it worse in college. What did you do in college, by the way? Jaeger bombs, giant taco pizzas, a cute student teacher. We all did a cute student teacher at some point in college. I'm talking about studies, woman. I know. I'm a computer engineering dropout. Dropout? I was getting fed up with the whole make programs for other people thing. I see. Alright, now it's my turn to ask questions. About what? What kind of family is your family? Well, I'm an only child. My mom and dad split amicably. My mom is a violinist, so she was always away from home with the orchestra. Spent most of my time with my dad, my aunt, and my grandpa. Aside from that, I'd say my childhood was quite uneventful. Huh. Didn't you get something like your mom's artistic vein or something? Played the violin until I was around 16, I think. What made you stop? I don't know, I just kind of said, that's it, one day and stopped. What about cousins or the rest of your family? I see very little of them, actually. Mainly because my dad moved away from most of them. Most of my mom's family lives in France to boot. So your mom's French? Yep. Can you speak French? Am I really going to try this? I can barely speak Japanese. Mon éruglisseur est plein d'anglais. Or something like that. Ooh, what does that mean? Rubbish? I don't know. Can't speak French. I did try though. But college started and I stopped taking classes. Funny thing, I actually have a cousin from my mom's side that lives close by. You'll be hard-pressed to make me spy him in a crowd. Kinda lucky, you know. All of my mom's side of the family lives here. The chances of me meeting someone I'm related to on the streets are ridiculously high. But yeah, that's the primer of my family. Nothing too interesting, sadly. The whole I can run into my relatives without blinking once I hit Earth is a little too relatable. Just saying. Your mom's a French violinist and you call that uninteresting? I'm wondering if your family has ever made a fuss about you being a hacker. Hacker make it sound too exotic. It's like if I called you a mixologist. Please don't ever. Sounds like something somebody would say to make bartender sound sophisticated. See? I mean, hacker is a good way to summarize it, but it's not the best. I'm a security consultant. People want to find flaws in the security of their systems, and I do my best to pinpoint where it breaks. Be it Glitch City or anywhere else in the world, they need security, I'm their woman. Know quite a few stories about cracking into databases to retrieve info like some sort of mercenary though. That doesn't change the fact that hacker is not the best term to use. It makes the whole thing sounds illegal when it's actually an honest job. Can you tell me you once secured some incriminating pics from a guy's cell phone? A mostly honest job. Sheesh. What made you become a hacker, by the way? I've always been a sucker for puzzles. Even as a kid, I've always had a Sudoku or crossword. But at some point, it started feeling kind of samey. So when I started college, I took a course on system security. It felt like the kind of puzzle I was looking for. I mean, there are all kinds of things involved in breaching net security. You need to attack this stuff from different angles. And it's something that's always evolving. The whole point of everything is to strengthen security. Every time you think you've got the gist of it, they change everything. So it's kind of like an always evolving puzzle. A puzzle I help make harder at that. Huh. Didn't think about it that way. It is less actiony than what movies make it up to be, though. No real-time frantic typing. Nothing like that. Still, seeing my code break through something is an amazing feeling. Will you have anything else? Give me something non-alcoholic. I want to play it safe with the whole abstinent thing. Something without alcohol. I'm pretty sure there's no such... I'm pretty sure they're not going to tell me they have, like, non-alcoholic drinks. Maybe a sugar rush. Because Carmentron is the alcohol. If I remember right. Frothy water. My flavor, sour drinks, bitter drinks. Screw it. We'll go over our first thought. If it's wrong, then so be it. Please slightly previous girl as a bit. Or think of alcohol. Jane's 1 Frost and Extract, 3 Powdered Delta, and 3 Flanagan. All blended. All blended. All the time. Alright, let's see if this may work. Here. I hope you haven't spiced up this one. Alma, please. Say, Gil, what's the worst that could happen if you don't get your drinks right? Well, people have the right to not give me money. If they don't pay for it, I don't get my bonus. bonus means less money and no tip. Which doesn't help because I have to pay bills. Oh, I see. You have to make an effort to pay your bills? Nope. You have no idea how much I hate you right now. Well, my job pays pretty well. I'm not the kind to spend too much on things other than food and bills. Maybe maintenance on my hands and new equipment, but aside from that... Oh, I know. If you have trouble with your bills, why not live with me? We could be roommates. No. Moving my stuff through the stairs because the elevator's broken. Having to move my liquor collection. Never mind the fact that my cats are shut in. They got very upset the one time I moved some furniture around. The idea of moving just gives me a headache. You shouldn't take things so seriously when I say them, you know? I don't, but I've thought about it before. Now, I need some air. I'm gonna take my break. Wanna come? Are you inviting me to the back of the bar? You should invite me to dinner first. Every minute you waste making jokes is time taken for my break. Fine, let's go. Boss, I'm taking my break. Call me if anything comes in. Sure. That was some kind of cute. That was actually like really heckin' cute. Now normally this would be the cutoff point. Like I said, I'm going to try and marathon this one and give you the entire night. Because I'm going to have to take next week's off, which will probably actually thin out my schedule because you're still going to receive like a video next week. I just don't think it's this upcoming stream. So there's a chance things may still be right on track as far as what's being put out. It's just, you know, now you don't get 2 weeks out from my scheduling, you get a week. And boy, that is going to be something howdy for me. Make sure it's saved one more time. It is now safe to keep playing. Look at Stella. Look at Say. What is White Rabbit? Cold. Yeah. You said I guarantee you, you're right where you belong. Alright. You know what? I am curious about that. And that means they'll give me an opportunity to reassign all of the songs. I'm going to spam Your Love is a Drug. Why am I spamming Your Love is a Drug? I can't really answer that. I really have no idea. I like it. Okay, cool. I got the achievement. It sure is chilly out there. Kinda refreshing. The hobo out there seems like a nice guy. Billy Vine? Yeah, he's a cool guy. Very respectful. Apparently he got into some legal trouble and that's why he's like that. Really? He could also just be a very nice crackhead, though. I have a cousin that lives like a hobo, actually. Really? It's a bit complicated, though. Problem is, his family has tried to get him to live with them, but his pride won't let him accept their help. Relatable content. He'd rather live on the streets for some reason. Can't tell with some people, sadly. Why did he become a hobo in the first place? Bad investments and debts. Bank evicted him from his house. Oh. It's a serious problem because he has epileptic attacks, but refuses to take his medication. Just don't get what's up with him. Honey, some service here. I'm here. Don't scream. Uh-huh. Were you two hanging out at the back of the bar? What kind of stuff were you doing? Yo, the smug expression on Dorothy's face. She's just like, oh, y'all fucking? Oh, they fucking. Just talking. Is that what they call it these days? What do you want? Something soft, something sweet. No alcohol, please. Wouldn't it be the same if you just grabbed the soda from the vending machine? But I like you. Do you dislike my presence so much? Sweet and non-alcoholic, you say? Alright. Something sweet and alcohol-free. Gonna make her sugar rush. Just Dorothy's a goddamn sweetheart. Mix, swirl, and mix. Here, like your ex. See? Those crocodile tears are a little deadly. See? You don't get this kind of treatment from vending machines. Unless you're Lawrence. But he has this weird idea that good service is the same as selling lukewarm cans of cola. Lawrence? A friend of mine. He's a vending machine. Oh. But how impolite of me. I'm lovely and my name's Dorothy. Dorothy Hayes. Nice to meet you. Oh. I'm Alma. The pleasure's mine. Dorothy, you say? Dorothy, you say? Yep. Why? Nothing. I guess I've heard about you before. Really? What kind of stuff? Tell me! Mostly about your, luckiness. And here I was thinking it was because I'm a sex worker. So much for trying to be subtle. Hey, I take pride in my job, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. Isn't it dangerous? I know how to take care of myself, thank you very much. Where do you work, Alma? I'm a hacker. Really? A full-fledged hacker? Not the kind that sees a computer logged into some accounts and says that's hacking, right? No, of course not. I've always been curious about how being a hacker works. Do you just start typing really fast while waiting for something to happen? No. I can explain, but I don't know if you'll get it. You won't know until you try, right? Last time that I had to jam the plastic replica of a halogen light bulb up a... Okay, I was trying not to break, but I broke. That's my bad. Let's run that back. Last time I said that, I had to jam the plastic replica of a halogen light bulb up a grown man's ass. It was a success. Okay, then... Let's say I have to retrieve information from a company's database. Alright! First, I do some research on the target, OS, servers, and how the information is stored and all that. There have been a couple occasions where I had to go in blind, but they're the exception rather than the rule. First, I secure things from my side. I start working behind proxies, websites, and through other, more vulnerable computers I find on the way. After that, I start testing the network. I go through the basic protocols, try known exploits as long as they don't trigger any alarm. Once I've tested the ground, the fun starts. I go through all the security protocols and look to bypass them. Sometimes I have to look deeper into the code for the password itself. I see. Then, when I'm finally in, I go and retrieve user privileges. After that, I go and try and become a super user and get what I need. How do you do that? Well, there are a couple of ways. I can use a pre-made program to hack into an already existing account. I can use some info someone already gave me, but the usual way is using a buffer overflow. Hey, it's the vibrating Dorothy. What happens next? What happens next? I create a backdoor in the system before leaving and covering my track. I can't handle it anymore. Oma, hack me like you never hacked anything before. Make my buffer overflow, create a backdoor in me, escalate your privileges, find flaws in my security. Sorry, I got carried away. Oh shit, what happened? Seen those movies or books where a couple does something like paint a picture or cook, but they make it sound like they're having sex instead? Suggestive scenes, yeah. Well, that whole thing was kind of like that for me. Really? Really? I guess humans don't really get it because their minds don't upload to networks or anything. But trust me, if you recorded yourself giving a really detailed explanation in a really sexy voice, you'd make millions. Horny Lilium are an unexploited market. I see. Oh, looks like my ride is here. Your ride? Yep. My brother-in-law came to look for me. Is it alright to ask that for him? It's okay. I've known him since preschool. It just so happened that he got married to my sister. Hey Dorothy, do you need a ride? Can you drop me by 3rd Street? Sure. It's on the way. Yay! I'll take your offer then. Bye, honey. Later, Jill. Take care. Street seems noisy. Oh, a client. Hello, welcome to Valhalla. What can I get? Such a small yet comfortable place. Truly an oasis of spiritual drinks in the midst of the suburban desert. A place where lost and corrupt souls can gather to forget their troubles for a while. A nest where everyone from the most pathetic scum of the vilest trash junkie can just sit to kill their insides. Truly, a real persona non grata. That's Latin for mysterious place. By the way, I'm so smart and philosophical. Alright, we got ourselves a persona non grata here. What will you have then? 17. Excuse me? I said 17. 7 plus T. What does that mean? What does it mean to you? Just to be sure, 17 is about the drink you want, right? Only if you want it to be. Yes, it's referring to the 17th iteration inside of our TC. So he wishes. He wants a piano man. Oh, 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 oh. Alright, get this man a piano man. And as soon as we get this over with, so we can get the fuck up out of here. Look at think I'm working as an internal voice, I guess. Bye, Flanagan. Comatron. All on the run. And mix. Get this motherfucker a piano man. I do like the key at the bottom. How is this a 17? It isn't. It said 17 would only be related to your drink if I thought it was. And I think it isn't. Ooh. You subverted my expectations by taking me literally. Sneaky. And what brings you here, Mr. Armandio? Virgilio Armandio. See? I introduced myself using the Asian order because that's a lot more polite. Right. So he's a weeb on the low too. And I came here looking for an otherworldly experience. He has a fucking question mark on his forehead. Is he the goddamn Riddler? He's the Riddler. Oh, I just thought it was like a fucking... I just thought it was part of his hair. I thought it was part of the design. man, it's gonna get more quizzical. Is this gonna be worse than Stella? Will they have a philosophical debate between each other? Are they gonna fight? They're gonna fight, aren't they? I was passing by and saw this place. It's called Valhalla. I want to see the souls of resting warriors, the wounded spirits of noble souls, the golden hall full of never-ending banquets, the lively Valkyries looking over them. We have some arcade machines on the corner. No. You're taking me too literally. You see, I'm being poetic. I'm giving a mystical air to a mundane affair. I wanted to see drunk people. I wanted to see waitresses and food. I wanted to see the bar in all its decadent glory. Well, you're out of luck. Today's been quite a slow day. Not that I'm very surprised, given how things have been going on in the streets, though. Things are a nasty bunch, that much is true. Making a ruckus, coming at each other. But that's to be expected from the only mammal to kill its own. I'm no zoologist, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Oh yeah? Then give me an example. Non-zoologist bartender. Like I said, I don't know exact details. I just know that isn't right. If memory serves right, once a lion takes over a pride, every cub born from another lion is killed or something. Takes over a pride. Can't take over pride. Pride isn't an intangible thing. You need to stop making things up, non-zoologist bartender. But going back on topic, do you know what the number 17 means? The atomic number for chlorine? No. And Chloe is a name, not a number, you know. The group where halogens are in the periodic table? Stop making up words like halogens, periodic, and table. Oh, he's fucking stupid. So he's dumb and weak. Yo, this is kind of fucked. Maybe he's just no. Because basically with using that sentence would be a sense of, I just don't get it, so I think it's stupid. And strangely enough, I kind of understand some of the Kojima production. Look man, I'm from Andromeda. Even that shit's otherworldly. Okay then, I give up. 17 is us. Eh? Every human has 17 pairs of chromosomes. That number is the whole foundation of you and me. It's 23. What is? Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, not 17. Well, they're both primal numbers, so it's the same idea. Primal. Do you want anything else? I'd like a single plum, floating in perfume, served in a man's hut. Okay. He wants a plum, floating perfume, in a... Son of a bitch. A plum fume. Here. Huh, you didn't... Wait, you did. Enjoy. I will drink this, perfume. You don't really have to. Yeah, that'd be silly. You win this round, bartender. Hey, bartender, have you ever thought about death? Such a fucking innocent face to ask that. Ow. What if we're already dead? Both of us. What? What tells you I even existed before I entered that door? How can you assure me that this reality is real and we're not? In fact, in heaven or hell all along? What if everything made up to this point is just some stupid story written by an unemployed 20-something in his room? Hey, I feel like someone's being a little too, close to home with themselves. And then when I think about it, gosh, I'm gonna be doing the same thing at some point, huh? punch you to make you feel reality. I don't care about any of that, actually. This reality's real for me, and that's all that matters. Such a close-minded way of seeing things. You need to get away from the factual facts. Open your minds to things beyond your reach. You'll never reach enlightenment if you don't start. The Habanera has started. It means the twilight of the gods in German. By the way, this man just said Habanera in German. I think my brain's breaking from reading his lines. Well, you're on your own, bartender. Enjoy your new world order. What? A couple of nearby cars exploded, it seems. Oh, hell. Let me take a look out the window. Careful. I've seen lots of flashes in the distance. Most likely gunshots. Jill, come here a sec. What? About 5 gigabytes of reports proving that several White Knight squads have been used to cover illegal elections that were released to the public by an unknown anarchist group. We're receiving reports of several units going rogue and using their weapons to hunt down anyone they find on the street. Several counterterrorism forces from neighboring cities have been dispatched in order to subdue the crazed units after a plea from the vice president. We're still waiting for a declaration from the Ibatsu Corp CEO on the subject. But until then, things are ugly in and outside of that bank, it seems. I'd recommend you stay here tonight. It's too dangerous to even think about going outside. What if they break in? They won't. They won't. Even then, the bar has quite the security system. And I'll be here protecting you as an added bonus. Yeah, guess I'll stay tonight. I'll get you a spare mattress I have. You mind sleeping in my office? No, I guess it's fine. Good. Let's hope everything gets solved by the morning. I have Zankato on hand, just in case. The metal bat with nails? There's nothing it can't bash. Say, Gil, 4. Hope everything's better by tomorrow. Oh, I didn't get the flawless service? I made 2 mistakes. I guess I goofed on the 17, and I may have goofed on Alma's drink. Or there's a chance that I goofed on both Alma's and Dorothy's drinks because I don't know what the heck's an non-alcoholic drink. That just means we get to make another save file because we keep fucking up this. I guess that also joins in if they let me save. Night 5, people are shooting. Yay, they will let me save. Okay. It's like on day 6 break. Maybe this is a longer session than I even planned. You know what, let's give it a quick look-see. It is now safe to keep playing. It's almost like December 17th said, yo, it's time to pop off. Yo, you dealing with the X Factor. Rise and shine. Morning. It's 11 a.m. though. That's morning for me on the weekends. And any other day. How's everything outside? Still noisy, but forces have been deployed to take care of most of them at least. How so? Zaibatsu Corp's president is pleading with anyone to stop the rogue White Knights. Neighboring city forces were deployed quickly enough to do most of the opposition. There have also been reports of White Knights just freezing, like they were petrified somehow. Make it sound like some god suddenly decided to put everything in place. Well, I'm just glad no bullets are flying in and out of this whole building. Sure, there's still some bad apples out, and it's not really safe yet. It was worth last night. There also seems to be a civilian force lynching any White Knight they spot. So not only are the White Knights a problem, regular folks are on edge too. Dare say it's okay. Should we be worried about Gil? That kid knows how to take care of himself. I'm sure that whatever it is he's doing, he's safe. Dare I say even safer wherever he is in here. Sure hope so. You gonna work today? Nah, things are too nasty right now. Let's take the Sunday off. Oh, alright. Say, do you want me to help you get to your apartment? Actually, yeah. I'd appreciate that. Okay then. Let me lock up things and we'll go. We'll grab something for lunch on the way. Sounds good. And here we are. Cyberpunk party. Okay, so it's just their own tickers. I can look at the settings. Home sweet home. Thanks a lot. Hey boss, wanna hang out for a bit? Yeah, grab a beer, chill out for a bit. Mostly to thank you for helping me. Well, I don't have much to do anyway. So yeah, sure. I did tell you you should invite me to your apartment sometime, didn't I? Oh, yeah, you did. What worries me a bit is that beer always leads to something else. To more beer? I was gonna say to one of us going through the Spanish announcer's table. Yeah, I'm gonna have to screenshot that one for my own personal enjoyment and reasoning. Dana out here knowing what the fuck is up. But I think we're safe here. Come on in, then. Today, Shmas. Want one? Sorry, I don't smoke. Don't mind me, though. Smoke if you wanna. Say, how is the chilly weather treating you? It gets cold from time to time, but nothing that Kotatsu and the heater can't fix. Oh right, boss. You're not very good with the cold, are you? You know it. You didn't bring your jacket here either. Yeah, left it at home when going to the bar yesterday. It wasn't that cold and I didn't expect to spend the night at the bar. Would you like a sweater or something? Oh, don't mind me. I insist. I have this hoodie from some time ago and it was too big for me. Why buy it then? It was dirt cheap. Right. Wait, but where did you get this one? Don't know. Some flea market ages ago. Why? Nothing. Just like the one I had many years ago. What happened to it? Too much use. It just ripped. I see. You can keep it if you want. I never use it anyway. We'll see. Come to think of it, how old are you, boss? I'm eternally 17. Yeah, relatable content. Stop. Yo, chill. Yo, actually chill. Fair enough. 17 plus how much? 17 plus I'd have to cut your tongue if you knew. Alright. Yep. Dana is ultimately relatable content here. Hey Kiraku, how old are you? Just call me a Christmas cake. That's not saying your age. I will kill you. Let me go change into something more comfortable. Take your time. Hey, an actual picture of 4 being drunk. Say, Jill, there's a blue-eyed mass of fur glaring in my general direction. Oh, that's just 4. He's just wary of any new visitors. Cats be cats, I guess. He'll warm up quickly, though. Give him time. He's unusual looking. Blue eyes on a black cat. They usually have green. Yeah, weird, huh? First I thought they were like that because it was small, but they never changed. Do you have any pets, boss? Back at home we had a bear. I see. What? Good old Bosco. He kept intruders away better than any dog. Right. This picture isn't something you see every day. That a happy Jill? There's gonna be a lot of screenshot noises, and yes, sister, there's the glow. You get to see it only on Fridays.
What? Me taking such a sappy pic? No. A framed picture on printed paper. It's so vintage. Who are these? That's, the one on the right is Lenore, my ex-girlfriend. The one on the left is Gabrielle, her sister. That is fucking adorable! And still relatable content. What? I love women. I thought I established this. Why can I not redeem points for Glow? You know, that may actually be a good idea. I'll consider it. Huh? Is this pic recent or... Actually, that one's from 3 to 4 years ago. You look exactly the same. I'm only 27. What did you expect? That's what they say. That's why they say kids are the ones that get old. Relatable content, because I look eternally young, too. I thought it was recent because you don't usually see people displaying pictures of their exes so openly, let alone a printed and framed one. Did you two break up on good terms then? You even hesitated a bit when calling her your ex. Let's just say that everything ended with both of us saying mean things. Bill, we gotta stop being absolutely relatable, okay? I came here to have a good time, and honestly, I'm feeling so hurt right now. He's storming out of her house, breaking a couple of things on the way out. We never broke up formally, and I guess I still have feelings for her. I just went away. Haven't said a word since. I'm gone. Hey, oh yeah, you guys could... For more relatable content, I do recommend you check out the song that is on my YouTube channel, shitting all my stars and breaking all my hearts. You could ignore any of the songs before and after. And the Pierce Void playlist as well. Just a heads up. Really? That's hard to picture you doing such a thing. You look so happy in the pic. Why have her pick out like this then? Just couldn't get my mind off something that Alma said to me. About missing having the warmth of someone else pressed against your side. Using them as a pillow, mixing your perfume with theirs, putting your head in their chest, listening to their breathing as they pet your head, dozing off knowing they're there, watching you, protecting you. Oh no, I felt nostalgic, then miserable. I'll just put this away. I've been meaning to apologize, but I feel like it's too late now. Whenever I go out, there's this fear in the back of my head that I'll meet her in the street. I just don't know if I could face her again, let alone talk to her. I'd be a mess. It's never too late to apologize, Jill. Maybe. What's that on the table? Looks like an envelope. It's nothing. Nothing. Now, please give that to me. Low. Alright. That's all nothing. Don't worry. Anyway, let's grab some beers. Guide me. Damn. Wait. Damn. You have lots of beer. Beer so far, 0. Cans left, 12. Remaining beer, 100. So, can I just go over here and say, we in here, turn up when okay. Well, the BTC gives me discount and a point card I can use every time I buy their alcohol. That beer is actually the cheapest drink I can get. Is there any difference between the drinks at the bar and these? The drinks at the bar are more addictive, flavorful, and also stronger than the ones they sell in stores. And besides, the one in the bar is more of a double IPA. This one is more of a fill-and-sip. In English, please? This one's lighter in color and lighter in flavor. Don't know. Doesn't take like a lighter to me. Is this the one made with that, what's the name of the base liquid you use at the bar again? Nucleogenic dicomerical lidogenol. Or NDL. It was a supplement or something, right? It was an experimental fluid they created to reproduce water. To replace water when the maiden's kiss populated water supplies. The effects of pollution turned out to be temporary, so NDL never went into mass production. But the BTC still commissioned it for use in bars. And this is the one they made with it? Let's see. Yep, here it is. Near the end, NDL and cornstarch. Cornstarch. Shine Spark is out. 11:15 Kiramiki. I need that. I need all of that. You know I need it. You know I need it. It serves as a stabilizer if I remember correctly. They need it for packaged drinks. Let's see. And I just realized something. What? You're a nerd, Jill. Guilty as charged. There's my alcohol collection if you feel like getting anything else. Those bottles over there? Can't afford a fancy fridge or whatever for them, so I have to put them in plain sight. I'm guessing if some authority on alcohol came in here, he'd stab me for crimes against beverages or something. Anyway, many of them are still drinkable. I'll get you some of the Abstein I brought from the bar if you want. I'm not an Oscar Wilde kind of person, sadly. I'm more of a Theodore Roosevelt girl. Dana out here being like, yo, this slaps A. I'm gonna try and run through the entire 12 cans. I hope I can do it. I have a teddy bear in my closet, but I don't think you can drink it. Nah, that's what wait, you do? I'm not ashamed of Dr. Fluff, but it just so happens that I have a cat. And I don't want the bear's fillings spilled all over the place. Oh. Anyway, beer's fine. Don't worry. Say so. Where did that collection come from, anyways? Calling it a collection is too generous, I think. Got it from my grandpa. Made a will where the only thing stipulated was that I got him. That's sweet. I've already downed some of it over the years, though. Half of them have colored water instead of alcohol. I guess you need to be an expert or something to notice the difference. Yeah. And make sure the water's the right color, though. Bottom line, if you want to taste anything from it, let me know. You're too kind. On a side note, it surprises me you kept that poster of me in the room. And even more than that, you hung it in plain sight. When I gave it to you, it was more or less a joke, you know? Does it make you uncomfortable? If it doesn't make you uncomfortable, why would it make me uncomfortable? It's my own face. I'm still wondering why you did it, though. Aside from filling an empty spot in the wall, I don't really know. That was funny too. I guess it's like if someone gave you, I don't know, a dildo-shaped trophy or something and you had it there as a conversation starter. Although no one comes here anyway, so it's kind of pointless. What? No steamy nights of passion? Not since a year ago, I think. I'd rather not talk about what happened then. Did someone hurt you? Because if they did, I can go dish out the pain. No, nothing of the sort. A different kind of mess. A comfortable mess. A not being able to have sex for reasons mess. Glad to know you have my back, though. That's what friends are for. Yeah, I feel you, Jill. Wait, you talk about the poster and compare it to having a dildo-shaped trophy? You just call me dildo face? That's what friends are for. Hey Jill, where did you get that black 4-ball? Well, as with any black cat or house cat in general, he's actually a stray. I found him in the alleys near the building, not long after I moved here, I think. Ah, I see. It's quite the sight, though. It was cornered by all these dogs, but they were keeping their distance. He was holding his ground, hissing and scratching as much as he could. There was a fried chicken bucket nearby that had some rainwater in it, so I threw it over the dogs. They ran, and I figured the cat's mom would be nearby, so I left. Then I noticed people looking in my direction as I walked. Turns out the little shit started following me. So you brought it home. At first I wanted to see if I could find him a new home, but having him welcome me whenever I came back was just too much for my heart, so he ended up staying. It's destiny, girl. When he came, he was so cute though. Not like the fat mass that's sleeping on the table. Hey, you're not a spring chicken yourself, you know. Take a sip for the sound. Shit. I actually did that in front of someone else. She does do it. That makes it. Hey, she's red face. She's embarrassed. Oh. That's great. Either she's red-faced embarrassed or she's flat out drunk. Anyway. Don't anyway me. Do you normally speak for your cat like that? Maybe. Wonder if Gil's alright. You worried about him? Make it sound like I'm some emotionless robot. He can be hard to read. I wouldn't worry about Gil so much though. There's 3 things I know for certain about him. First, he can take care of himself. Second, you can sincerely trust him. And third, he absolutely hates bell pepper. He does? Seen him even reject food that has been in contact with it. Man, what a baby. Unless he's allergic or something. He's not. Man, what a baby. How did you meet such a guy? He showed up in the door of the bar. He... what? Well, it was shortly after the whole incident with Robert and the levitation potion. Right. The levitation potion. It was a slow day and he just showed up at the bar. I offered him a drink, but he said he didn't have money on him. I couldn't leave him alone, so I pretty much gave the drinks for free. And after a couple, he broke down crying. Huh? I don't know what he did, but he was really, really regretting it. He wanted a second chance or whatever, and I told him if he could wash himself, I could find him a job. And I'll be damned. He looked totally different the next day. Damn. I tried and failed to find out anything about him, so I decided to take him at face value. I judge him for what he did as an employee, and aside from an occasional sudden escapade, he's been as loyal gets. I returned the favor in kind, covering his ass from time to time, sometimes literally. What surprises me is that you took him in so easily. I can take care of myself, and I always kept an eye on him. Besides, after the whole Robert thing, I couldn't ignore someone that desperate so easily. I see. You've made the bar more lively yourself, you know. How so? Well, with the regulars you've earned, of course. Like that blonde titty hacker. Can't remember her name. Alma? I was gonna say Armitage. Well, she's hot. I'll give her that much. She's also a nice person in general. But damn, she's hot. Relatable content? Like absolutely a right club banger through and through. I respect that. God, is she just... I'm also heavily biased to the brown skin. I don't know if you ain't noticed, but I share some of those features. An altered hand, brown skin, lighter hair, then black hair. But when never mind. Take another swig. We have 2 cans of beer left. Take one down, pass it around, and are you alright, Jill? Yeah? Why? It's weird to see you say so openly that someone's hot. What? Even you can see she has a hot potty boss? You'll find no objections here. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about taking her to her room and... Jill? You sure you aren't drunk? I am. I mean... I'm sure I'm not. I mean... Those are thoughts I leave to myself. I don't think I can handle her in a relationship. She has... weird standards. That and she's as straight gets. She's still a lovely person though. And that she became a regular is a blessing. One can left. Any regular is a blessing when you get down to it. There's also that sex worker robot girl. Dorothy. She intrigues me though. I've seen lots of sex workers over the years and she seems pretty giddy. It's not that she likes her job, but rather that she takes to it with such childish excitement. Kinda noticed that too, but then again, Willem can be weird. You think? Willem operate in some really foreign logic. I mean, they don't really share out of fear of mortality. But if their bodies are destroyed, their minds are already backed up in the collective source. If they lose an arm, they can reattach it or replace it. Depending on the circumstances, they might not even feel pain at all. It's not like they haven't attained human-like emotions like fear or love, but they are different. Like a different culture, if you must. I didn't see it that way. Aside from that, Dorothy is a DFC-72. DFC-72. You know, it took me this long to realize that most likely is an implication of delicious flat chest. And there's probably a proper term in this universe for it that is not what it means, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's interpreted by some fans. God damn it. It's a social interactions model or something. Willem gets positive reinforcement straight from their bodies if they're fulfilling their main purpose, so I'm guessing she gets a built-in push whenever she's in a meaningful or challenging social interaction. Interesting. Name Willem is a bit weird though. It is? You'd expect them to be called bots or dolls, but Willem doesn't convey the image of automatons. Dolls. Roll credits for Girls Frontline. Or in Japan, it's called Doll Frontline. So, look, that was the reason I picked up that game. And this wasn't one of the reasons, but it was the nicest surprise, and I'm glad this reminded me that I really wanted to play this game. I'm gonna break reading for a second real quick to be like, man, I'm really enjoying this. This is more enjoyable than I think I can say, because it's just so many relatable things and just a lot of small fun moments. And then there's still that underlying story where shit gets real. I mean, I've yet to get to the shit getting real on the forefront, but you can kind of see it as the story progresses. And I personally want to do something like that. Enough of the heart-to-hearts and the alluding to things. Let's get back to reading. Just a tip. Bots and dolls are considered slurs by them. Hell yeah, brother. Bot is akin to calling them retarded. And doll is like calling them fake. Thanks for the advice. That aside, do you know why they're called Lilum? As far as I know, they all come from a bigger AI called Lilith. I wonder if she'll black out as she takes the last sip. And Lilum are Lilith's offspring in Jewish folklore. Oh, cool. Hey, speaking of names, why don't you like being called by your full name? I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't act stupid. Back when you first transferred, I called you Julianne and you almost tore me a new one with your glare. See? Like that. It's no big secret, but it's one of those things that feels silly when you say out loud. I really like Julianne as a name. But at the same time, I understand myself enough that if I like someone enough, I'll say their name with a type of demeanor and inclination that shows that I am either quite high on them or very doting. It's a tone that isn't charming in the slightest, but I can use Sister Gabriel, for example, whenever she arrives into chat, when I typically say something along the lines of, Sister. You're being used as an example right now. But yes, basically when I speak of those that I do enjoy to be around or admire, I'll say it in such a tone that doesn't seem flattering or becoming of someone like me. Hey Neko. I'm literally out here mixing drinks and saving lives. Try me. Well, did you ever watch Model Warrior Julianne? Not all of it, but my little sister's a big fan of the reruns. Back when I was in elementary school, I was a huge fan of the show. I had everything, from the dolls to the costumes to the lunchboxes. That explains her girl's frontline outfit. It didn't help that it was one of those shows that got strapped literally everywhere. Saw a couple episodes once. They were really nice. It was beyond nice. The show's about a model who can transform into an armor-clad magic knight. She fights demons born from greed and vanity. How the show presented Jules hating her job because it invited enemies, and yet still found solace in trying to be a role model. Hell, the main character wasn't a kid. Julianne was an adult. And I was obsessed with Jules. Sang the songs, dressed like her. I could even recite full chapters. Something tells me you still can. That's beside the point. It was nice while I was in elementary school. Then I went to middle school. And what a surprise. Tweens are jackasses. They went out of their way to tease me about the things I did back then. I don't hold it against Jules. I always hold my grudge against those fuck jobs. Sounds rough. You know how most girls worry about their thighs at that age? I worried about jerkasses singing the theme tune of the show mocking me. Anyways, every time someone calls me Julianne or Jules, I instinctively react negatively. Pavlov will be proud of me. Perhaps if I drink this and pop one more! Okay. There's no cans left. She's had 12 beers so far. I'm pretty sure this last one would make her absolutely smashed. I never talk about it because I find the whole thing too silly in retrospect. And yet, it affects you even today. There's nothing wrong with it though. It's actually kind of reasonable. Sure hope so. Come to think of it, what kind of kid were you, boss? When I was a toddler, I was the kid to always fight with kids bigger than me. Then puberty happened, and I became the Merriam-Webster definition of shallow jerkwad. Around the time I turned 16, I realized what an idiot I was and went on to become who I am today. And the less I talk about those years from 12 to 15, the better. Fair enough. Hey, boss. How you like them men? 2D. 2D? Yes, yes. I don't mind anything as long as the thing is cute or 2D. How about you? Man, Dana's out here just being your best homie right now. Back in high school, I liked them funny. In college, I liked them successful. After a while, I just wanted them stable. And now, I don't know. Stop caring about them being funny. My high school boyfriend started conflating cheering me up with mocking me while I'm down. I also stopped caring about them being successful. I realized half the time they had no qualms about cheating with me or on me. And I stopped caring about them being stable. I realized they were the kind of person I was trying not to become. Not become stable? Was this guy who became so obsessed with holding a stable job that he hated, he started being physically ill. Not only that, the last time I managed to get some, I ended up throwing the guy out. He took incredible offense with how I smoked on the bed after sex. The bed could catch fire, you know. Not you two. The bed could catch fire because they're smoking hot, but at the same time, yeah, smoking after sex if you're careless enough, I guess that would make sense. Let's break kayfabe for a second. I cannot be around smoke. If we're talking realistically, I can barely tolerate hookah. And vape, well, that was kind of, I've learned to be around it. Thanks, Yuki. Where's Yuki? Sister, do you know the whereabouts of Yuki? If not, it's all good. Hey, it's only half kayfabe. That's being broken here. Yuki, well, as far as I'm concerned, Yuki be in and out of time. Sometimes he's around, sometimes he's not. Time shenanigans be crazy. Kinda envy Alma for that. At least when she dumps a guy, it's for less petty reasons. You okay? Fine, it's just... it all boils down to the fact that I can't get my mind off Lenore. She was all of what I just said. Made me laugh, had a good position, and was stable. She was also smart, caring, and why can't I get my mind off this whole thing? It's maddening. Maybe I should go apologize? Maybe I should. Maybe that will make me rest easier at night. Get my mind off things for a while. I don't even care about going back to her, but no more beer on the wall. Ugh. Hey Jill, you tried thinking about clothes for 4? Clothes for... Listen, I know how you must feel. You can't let all of that cloud your senses. Next time you feel overwhelmed by those thoughts, try distracting yourself. Like with, say, thinking what kind of clothes you can put on 4. Yeah. No, boss, I'm a bit curious about your circle of friends. What kind of people do you have in it? Keep in mind, you're included in a circle too, so any insults you hurl will apply right back to you. Anyways, I have this friend I've known for a long time, a red-headed, glasses-wearing gun nut called Iris. The one you called for the helmet thing. That one. She's managing a BCC bar in Panama right now, if I remember correctly. She's managing a bar too? I got the idea from her, actually. Oh. It's called Nirvana. It's called Nirvana. And if you thought this city was dangerous, you see, I'm waiting for Nirvana to drop, so now I'm doubly excited, and I'm kinda, oh boy, oh me, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just see the people she has to deal with there. Piracy ain't nothing to fuck with. And means it's an annex to another business. What else does she do there? I think it was originally her hotel's bar. She moved the bar to its own building elsewhere and opened Nerve Van B in the hotel instead. Weird decision. I believe she said she wanted a place away from the noisy rich tourist that goes to the hotel. So that bar is her woman cave. Woman cave. Aside, let's see. Friends. I guess there's also my little sister, but that's a given. Oh! There's also my old partner from when I was with the Neo San Francisco police force. Good old Lexi. Should give her a call sometime. Wait, you were in the what? I've done lots of things, Jill. Spent a short time collaborating with the police force. I've been a wrestler, an MMA fighter, chimney cleaner, lumberjack, pet shop attendant, corporate mascot. Corporate what? I still see my face on some websites from time to time. Anyway, aside from you, Gil, my sis, Iris, and Lexi, guess there's a lot of people that don't want to see me in harm's way. Mostly because they're the ones that want to hurt me. What about you? Guess I have acquaintances here and there. Back at home in college, I went out a lot. But it felt more like going out was the pleasure rather than the people involved. Aside from you and Gil, my closest friend since moving here is Alma. Oh, and Dorothy. I mean, sure, there's always 4, but that cat's a hermit that refuses to go out. You know, he's a cat. Hey, cat's fine too, you know. Well, I caught that reference. Boss. Hey, boss. How did you lose your V-card? Huh? You know, your V-card. Your first time. You're deflowering. Oh, that. Well, I'm legally bound not to disclose that information. Does that mean you lost it? Can't disclose that information. Come on, just give me a hint, or Jill, bad things will happen for everyone if that info is revealed in any way. Dana out here just being the best. Literal. Well, your best homie. The best bro. Dana's just can do anything. This is awesome. Alright. Sheesh. can only say this. The whole thing is related to my mechanical arm. Great. Now you're just teasing me. Any reason you want to know that? Well, everyone's first time is always a mess. But I've always to know if it was as messy as a time as mine. What happened? Well, I got all lovey-dovey with my first boyfriend, and when we both got naked, when I saw his dick, I just started I started laughing. What? You got nervous? Nervous? No. I just find dicks funny. They're funny. They have a sack attached to them and they grow and they're just stupid meat rods. Yeah, they do be meat rotting though. So how did your boyfriend react? He went flaccid from the laughter and he just shrunk and went limp. I had to work it out too for a bit, so I had to work it out too for a bit, so I could control my laughter, but it's just so hard. They're just so stupid. Stupid meat rods. Jill? Huh. Well, let's see how to move her back inside before she catches a cold. Yeah, there's a chance this could be me accidentally finishing the game. And I'd be okay with that too. Okay, so I finished the first chapter. The second chapter is Armaga. Armaga. Why do I feel like I've heard that before? Alright. Your electricity bill will be sent out on the 24th. Please make sure you have the $8,000 needed. Jill is curious about Daruma she saw. Getting her one will prevent her from becoming too distracted. Have a nice day. Oh. Boss left the hoodie anyway. So now we gotta raise 8,000 freaking smackaroos. That is going on 2 hours worth of strain. I'm gonna do my usual reading of this good, and then get it poppin'. First, save the game. What's that break? It's a break. Okay. Alright. I believe we're into the crack the room. We can get is to crack the room. So get the room. Jill bought what she wanted, and she is pleased with herself. She was surely focused at work. Your electricity bill will be sent out on Christmas Eve. $8,000 before Christmas Eve? I don't know if I can make that. Boy. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten that Kara Mickey background after all. Right. Let's read back these words and we'll call it here. I also am gonna need to see if some people, see who can be rated. This has been a good, it's been a nice chill stream so far. I have no complaints. I've been enjoying it. I hope whomever is watching along's been enjoying it. and I hope that those on YouTube have been enjoying the series so far. Sorry, this is an extra long session. Hopefully it can tide you over if it does go up next week, but it could most likely go up the week after, and I'm worried about nothing because I think I've been 2 weeks out on a cushion for time frame, and just really hate that I won't be able to stream it next week due to work. So, with that in mind, let me get a resounding fuck work, and we'll go ahead and read this up. Danger you! Dangerous opinions. Apollo Banks being attacked thread 2. Seems like a lot happened while I was gone. Media is still awfully quiet about it. Augmented Eye talked about it, but very briefly. Maybe someone lost their job due to that one rogue article. It was from Kim. She's always trying to write serious shit, but I think AE got tired of her. Fucking shame. So all we'll get is clickbait from now on. Gonna get worse at the very least. White Knights say there's a lot of people inside the building. At least 3 people are already dead. How? Is someone there shooting people? Looks like it was the security from the building, but I've got no details yet. Sounds weird as fuck. Come on, Insider Anon, gotta give us more. Doing my best here. Thanks, Based Anon. I remember, like, the events that goes on there. It was like, in Girls Frontline, you saw more of those events happening, but I know Girls Frontline crossover story, some of this main story crosses into Girls Frontline related things, which calls for basically an apocalypse, and that's as far as I got in the Girls Frontline story. I am so curious to see how far this goes. Thread 3. Explosion registered, and media is still quiet about it. Can't confirm there's an explosion, but it looks like it was just one of them. So there's more bombs, not just one. That's right. Do we have any clue on who's doing this? I'm hearing from several sources that this is a group, a new one, looking to overthrow the government. No names have been mentioned, and it looks it's not a group, but just one person who set up all this. That's pretty ballsy. And there's this rumor, and this is just a rumor around here, but Alice Rabbit might be involved. How? A hacker is helping out hostages to escape, and they're suspecting Alice. Huh. Someone doing stupid shit on the internet that's actually useful. Deep shit happened right there. Will you read the file? Nah. Can confirm the situation has finally reached its end. The attacker was shot dead, but a huge amount of data was released from servers all around the world. Remember the leaks from Alice? Those were nothing compared to this. Proof of corruption, money laundering, espionage is actually pretty unsettling. Damn. The file is available from approximately 60,000 sources, terabytes that contain all operations from the Glitch City government and White Knight operations. It seems the ultimate goal from the attacker was not to blow up the bank, but lead hostages towards the servers inside the bank, which had the files under several layers of physical security. That shit sounds whack. How do you even make a plan this complex? No idea, but that's what some of the witnesses are telling the police. Okay, it looks like I have to leave, but I'll try to write down all the details for a future post. Gonna need some time though. Godspeed, Anon. Thanks. Oh hey, Lynette. You caught me on basically the tail end. I read these little small parts and then get ready to see you guys next week. But the problem is I can't see you guys next week if I'm stuck at work. So it's an awfully longer sesh. And just in case y'all didn't know, I do have some commands that are possible to be used now. So if you ever need to know anything or la-di-da-di or blah-di-blah, you should be able to hit !help. No space. Dog face, no space. But !help, no face, no space. Sorry, I'm thinking Franker Z right now. And you'll be able to see all the commands that I was able to implement in. And it's open for everyone to use, so yeah, if you want to give yourself a shout out, you can definitely do that. If you want to shout out the homies, you can definitely do that. If you wanted to see, just check what game I'm playing, what the uptime is. I'm trying to see if I remember all of them off the tip of my head. If you want to give someone a hug, You can hug others. Type in !hug and type in someone else's name. Give someone a good old hug. Sometimes, man, you need it. GSF, January 4th card announced. 66 American Kid and Giant Yusuke headlining by Lana Smith. The blood feud between Giant Yusuke and 66 American Kid will reach its climax this January at the annual GSF Dome event. But it's not the only match for tonight. Other interesting bouts feature great workers such as the great DK and Arns. Full card below. Man, I always forget how cute your voice. That actually makes the second time this week that my voice has been complimented. Thank you. I mean, I can variate from high register, kinda just low register, and like fuckboy register, I guess. Like, yeah, but I don't do that too often. What was the other register I do? I would say that me being flirty is also my fuckboy register, because it's like, well, you know, I mean, if that's what you want to do. Oh, you want to tie me up? Oh, okay, well, I mean, shit, I got you. I'm not gonna stop you so long as we just talk it all out. But it's weird. It's complicated. And being a switch has its ups and downs. Dominant leaning, and we literally have to talk anything out where I have to be submissive. Because if you surprise it on me, and that has happened before, it doesn't end well. I don't get aggressive. In fact, I get more and more scared. It's great. The American Kid versus Giant Yusuke for the GSF Championship. Red Comet Jr. versus Nagisa for the Women's Championship. Akito versus the Great DK. Red Comet Jr. Yo, someone else took the mantle. That's cool. Roy Campbell versus Arance. GSF Junior Championship. Jack Bomb and Blaze versus Huli and Kara Kolota for the Tag Team Championship. And Osuna versus Sig. Rest? My boss made me curious. Fair enough. Nano Camo is now making smart underwear. Smart underwear? Smart underwear? By Lana Smith. If underwear you can change with a voice command was something you really wanted in your life, Nano Camo has you covered. Already providing consumer versions of their advanced nano machine fabric, they plan to release a line of underwear that can change its look with a spoken word. No more stains in your white panties, just change its color to black and you barely notice. That won't change the smell though, they're not that advanced. We expect an increase in sales next year thanks to this innovative product, a PR representative told the Augmented Eye. I'm already using them, super comfy if you ask me. Just thought about looking up prices, did not. I mean, the idea of constantly shifting underwear seems intriguing. Bit too far advanced for my blood, but it seems cool. Danger Use admin has been arrested. Bitch, what? Again. Cybercrime units up the admin's ass. Yeah. By Lana Smith. It sucks that they fired Kim. Because it's most likely true that they did that. Blaze is about. Famous hacker Alice Rabbit graced the popular text board Danger U with a new threat, which resulted in the arrest of the site's admin, known as Furfur, for a second time. We have no details to give, other than that he was arrested as part of an ongoing investigation. Cybercrime Unit's Lisette Blanc told the Augmented Eye during a call. We are now busy tracking down the message that appeared yesterday. When inquired about the arrest, Furfur would only respond with a calm, "Not this shit again." Poor guy. Yeah. Alright. So I read up those texts. I wonder if Miki... No, Miki never updated her blog. There may be a chance that at some point I will get to that Shine Spark. And I'll do it. Yeah, with that in mind, I was up for 2 hours. I was honestly like an hour and 30 minutes further than I normally stream these. I'm going to do a quick look into who I can send this thing off to. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to send it to someone comfy. I don't want to look up anyone else streaming the game, unfortunately, because, well, that would run the risk of spoiling myself, and that's no fun. So, that in mind, gotta check and see if we got some homies doing their thing. Haha. Do the very thing you said you weren't gonna do. So, I wanted to take a look into who is streaming right now and go past everyone that's popular popping. I could send it to them, but they're playing New Genesis and they're having a good time. Ah, yes. Fellow Kira is also up streaming. They're probably streaming a fan fest, so they're probably doing like a live reaction. Fever streaming Streets of Rage. And Sushi is having a Sushi Nap's having a subathon. Oh, Waffle's up and streaming Minecraft. Everyone's up. Why is everyone up? Well, you guys aren't up, but why is everyone up? I know it's Friday, but jeez. I'm not gonna send it to just anyone. So, I guess with that in mind, let's see. Who has the least? Fever. Though this kind of always happens this way. Fun fact. Fever. I mean, other than Fever giving me this name, Fever is also an artist in his own right. He may be working on an image of, well, kind of like the small little, well, working on an image of all the VTubers that you know, and that basically just branches out to me, Kira, most likely Sister, him, and some of those inside of the streaming booth, I believe. But I think he may have dropped in on their streams. I don't remember him interacting with them. I don't know. But there's a high chance that he may hear a request that I gave for him of that picture too. We'll see. We'll see. If he does finish it and post it, he'll tag us. But with all of that in mind, I'm going to do what I normally do. Go back to the title screen. Go back to the title screen. Switch to camera only. Everything's set up to raid him, basically. Gonna wrap it up right here and thank you guys for watching this very extended session. Spoke way more than I thought I was gonna. But if I do have the ability to do so, I will go live again next Friday to stream another sesh. If you miss any of these Friday sessions, they're available on YouTube. Very blue boy. You can only catch me this luminescent on Fridays. And every day on YouTube if you want to look through all of the Valhalla streams. But yes, catch me every Friday, and if I am able to go live next Friday, I will, I will definitely be able to give you guys another Valhalla session. Don't hold me to it. Chances are very low. And with that in mind, go ahead and set all this up. And I'm gonna bid you guys adieu. So whoever hasn't heard it before, you are loved. You're quite cherished. And make sure you give yourself a little bit of self-love too if you don't love yourself. This is Kiraku Neos. Gonna be signing off for tonight. And remember, you're always welcome here for another verse. Now go out there and shine like the star that you are. Sayonara to Oyasumi. Bang.
We'll stand together, you'll be next to us. We'll fight for the best you.
So how big was this victory? Or how big was the loss? Or did you sacrifice something that was special to the point that the win was not worth the cost? Though life gets difficult and tests you, breaks you down to the point you can get through. We'll stand together, you'll be next to us. We'll fight for the best you.
Eyes around the globe, don't face me. Move at the speed of light, don't chase me. I'm so out of this world, can't trace me. They'll yell Kiraku, can't replace me. No matter if it's dead or alive, I'll keep the dream on with the burning inside. See the flames in my kicks when I'm spinning your mind. With the rhymes on the line when we find better times. When we online and in the star cipher. All my stars are going with mad hyper, cause they be moving, the party's grooving. And we won't stop cause you said so. And now your head straight out and it's official. She 10, she rising and mental. It's running in the 90s, no initial. Versatile is the style when I get to. And no, you're always welcome for another verse. Anytime, don't worry, it's fine. Kindness can be so divine. We use it to help others shine. So stand by me if you're feeling the love, or stand aside if you're feeling above. Just know the sun will never go down. Just around, let the nails and you stars to turn.